What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with the NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Tuesday, February 7th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman. That's where I want your questions. That's where you're going to get my sim result updates. Find the thread with this video in it. Hit me up in the replies with whatever you want to know for today's slate. Finally, we got to talk a little bit about BetMGM. They are the sponsor of this video, after all. You can get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, along with up to $1,000 in first bet insurance, as long as you're clicking the link in the description, heading on over and making a deposit of at least $10. Find a better deal elsewhere, folks. You're not going to be able to do it. Now, we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Joval, Quentin Grimes, Anthony Davis, Herb Jones, and Cam Thomas on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. Up first at number 5, we've got XAVIER TILLMAN. He is center eligible, 4,600, projected for 28. The goal is just 29. He's in the optimal lineup 21% of the time. He's playing 28 minutes a game. He seems to be the starter right now without Steven Adams. He's around a fantasy point per minute. He's taking on the Bulls on a back-to-back. I think the spot looks pretty good. And he's just sort of consistent. 16% usage, 10 points, 8 boards. So a very realistic chance at a double-double. 2 assists and 2 stocks. The price tag still works. There's some value there. We don't have a ton of value on this slate. So if you have to get it at the center spot, by all means, I'm hoping we get a little bit more throughout the day. Not that I don't want to get to XAVIER TILLMAN, but we know how center works at this point. Next up at number 4, if he plays, is Kyle Anderson. He's small forward, power forward eligible, just 4,900, projected for 27.5. The goal is 30.5. He's in the optimal lineup 22% of the time. Now, Anderson does have a Q tag on him, so we'll see if he makes it to this one. But if he does, I really like the price on a 6-game slate. 30 minutes a game. We're getting 15% usage. He's like a 0.9 to 0.95 guy, and he just hits every statistical category. 9.5 points, 5.5 boards, 5 assists, and 2 stocks for Anderson. It's not the best matchup in the world against Denver. They are 8-point dogs, but if this one stays competitive, he's going to be out there for full starter run. And at 4,900, given the flexibility at small forward, power forward, a position that's become pretty difficult to fill, I think it makes it a lot easier to construct a lineup with him. Speaking of guys that might not play, BARRETT in at number 3, small forward eligible, 6,300, projected for 36. The goal is 37.5. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. We're going to get BARRETT playing about 37 minutes. Maybe he plays 40. Maybe he plays 29 because you get more out of Emmanuel quickly. Maybe he doesn't play at all because he gets late scratched 2 minutes after the lineup locks. We can get all of those outcomes for BARRETT. But when he is in and just playing like a normal starter, he's a better play than 6,300, particularly at a position that is incredibly difficult to fill. This is a 0.95 fantasy point per minute guy. He's no slouch. This is 27% usage in 37 minutes, 23 real points, 6.5 boards, almost 3 assists, and a stock in a neutral matchup against Orlando, where you should expect the starters to play their full run. And I think this is a matchup that kind of fits RJ Barrett a little bit better, just given the size of Orlando. I feel like they go this way a little bit more than they go quickly. But everything matters here with the Q tag for Barrett. If he's out, make sure you're getting yourself some quickly. If Barrett is in, he's one of my favorite plays. Next up at number 2, we're going to John Collins. Power forward center eligible, 5,400, projected for 29.5. The goal is 33. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. We're talking 32 minutes for Collins. If you want to go to 31, I think it's fine. He'll still look good. It's a testament of where the value is on this slate that we're just kind of funneling to the mid-tier with guys that have MPEs. 0.9 fantasy points per minute, 13.5 points on 17% usage, 8.5 boards, an assist and a half, and 2 stocks. Pace neutral against the Pels, competitive matchup, just a 2-point line. So you assume you're getting all of the Collins that you can get. And if that's the case, with the way the slate looks right now, the ability to put him in at power forward as well, 5,400 is a pretty nice price. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman. That's where I want your questions. That's where you're going to get my sim results. Find the thread with this video and hit me up with whatever you want to know. Finally, it's BetMGM. It's a free month, 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, and the big one here, up to $1,000 in first bet insurance. My number one contender for today, and it is not close, that's Brandon Ingram. Shooting guard eligible, just 7,100. This is a guy that was in the mid 8Ks earlier this year. Projected for 43. The goal is just 41.5. He's in the optimal lineup 34% of the time. He is just not priced correctly. We've seen him come back and play starter minutes, so I'm projecting him for starter minutes. I gave him 34. 1.27 fantasy points per minute here against the Hawks in a competitive matchup. No Zion, obviously. 31% usage for Brandon Ingram, 24.5 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, and a little over a stock. He's just simply not priced correctly. He's going to be, as long as Zion's out for a couple more games, Brandon Ingram is going to be over 8K, I'd say within the next 2 games that you see him play, so long as nothing happens to him from an injury perspective. Today is the day you need to take advantage, particularly on a 6-gamer. The easiest decision you'll make today is clicking on Brandon Ingram's name. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Tuesday, February 7th. There's a FanDuel version around here somewhere, so make sure you check that out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We are back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.